The question of how you define a family is at the center of a dispute this morning in Hartford, Connecticut. Nearly a dozen people, some of whom are not related, live together comfortably in a single-family home. But Anna Werner is here to show us how they could be forced to split up. Anna, good morning.
Good morning, Jeff. Well, if you ask this group of 11 couples, singles, and children whether they are different from anyone else, they'll tell you no. That the only difference is they decided to share a home. But the city of Hartford says under zoning codes, that kind of living arrangement is not allowed.
Hartford's historic West End neighborhood boasts stately mansions and high-profile homeowners, including the mayor and Connecticut's governor. And then there are the people living in this house. Like others, they bought their home and live here in apparent domestic harmony.
For everybody here, do you consider yourselves a family?
Absolutely.
Except they're not. This group of 11 actually includes 3 couples with 3 children and 2 single people. They're all longtime friends who decided years ago they wanted to live together. Kevin Lampkins is an English teacher.
I think that there's a real extension of our values as people. The values I'm speaking of are sustainability, cooperation, living more, living well but within your means, being connected to other people and not, being in a silo, so to speak.
This group of friends includes 3 teachers, a grants manager, and a mental health therapist.
Okay, now, a couple things we want to get out of the way, right? Mm-hmm. Is this a cult?
It is not a cult. There is no religion. There is no intermingling. There is no...
Intermingling.
We're really living very much like most people are. We just are doing it together.
This is our kids' den.
They purchased the 9-bedroom home and moved in last August. They have a legal partnership agreement and a shared bank account to pay expenses. The group has spent $30,000 so far to repair the home built in 1921.
Do you assign particular people to these projects?
These are the projects are the ongoing issues.
They all say it works well, but some neighbors apparently don't agree. Someone complained to the city, which determined in October that the living arrangement violates the zoning code for the neighborhood, which specifies that although the houses may be massive, no more than 2 unrelated people can live in them.
Oh, yes.
It came as a surprise to the group.
We did some research, and the reason why we thought we were okay is because there's specific to this area is a density clause. Only a certain amount of people per acre, and we more than fit that.
Last month, they appealed and lost. They now have to decide whether to fight the decision in court or break up the group and sell. Hannah Sims is a freelance theater teacher.
It's been terrifying. It's been really stressful. We're just getting into living together and functioning as a family with all 11 of us. And it's already become very precious, I think, to all of us.
City officials would not comment, citing possible litigation. Land use attorney Diane Whitney says zoning codes were designed to protect neighborhoods.
Historically, it was to rule out things like boarding houses or rooming houses. It would be wise of Hartford to look at their definition of family. How does it work? Is it doing what you want it to do?
This group says in their case, definitely not.
It's preposterous. Whoever's in your home, who you love, is who your family is. And the notion that the city is going to discount that is unacceptable to us.
Well, some cities and towns have found a way to address these living arrangements. They call it a functional family, and that definition describes this group pretty well. They must have an ownership interest, share housekeeping duties, and adhere to other specifications so these homes don't end up as boarding houses. Now, we reached out to the neighbors who initially made these complaints, and none of them were willing to comment on camera for us. But we do know that some neighbors are probably concerned about what happens with other houses.
So what happens next?
So what happens next is this group has to decide. They say they are going to fight. They haven't specifically said how, but you can imagine there's probably a legal battle in the offing here, which is why the city didn't want to comment either.
I'm so sorry some cranky Yankee neighbor complained, because to me what should matter is, are you good citizens and good neighbors? You can have people that are related that are horrible, cause all sorts of problems, police are called. So here you have these people who are living very well, getting along, being kind to each other and good in the neighborhood. I think it's a shame.
And the question is, how do you address that under a zoning code?
I'm
is there a way
pulling
to
for
do
the
that?
family. Wish somebody would ask me. Thank you, Anna. Thank you.
Gail, what do you think?
That was a great story. New research, and I love Hartford.